No run support again for Jack Flaherty. And he asked the question before we went to break, do we have a Flaherty problem? Do we have a Green problem? Because Riley Green right now is the leader in the clubhouse with 132 strikeouts throughout the course of this season. He is on pace to end up with the 9th most strikeouts in a season in Major League Baseball history. And I know that Jack Flaherty, early on in the season, we were not really excited about the performances he was putting together. In the month of June, it was much better. There was 4 or 5 starts there where we felt like, okay, he's finding his rhythm. He's back to where he was with the Tigers last year before he was traded to the Dodgers. And in the month of July has not been great in terms of wins and losses. In fact, 25% of the Tigers' losses have been in Jack Flaherty's starts.
Right, but with the ones up until yesterday, at least he was keeping them in ball games. The last 4 or 5 starts, he was giving up 3 runs a game, which should be enough, but this offense is so anemic. Now, that doesn't take him off the hook. He's been a disappointment. If you ask me, he's their 4th starter right now, and he started off at the second start as the second starter. And if you really want to feel, I don't know, if worse about it, his incentive, because he's made 15 starts this season, has kicked in for next year. So originally his 2026 salary was going to be $10 million, but it doubled. So it's going to be $20 million for next year. So he ain't opting out.
No.
Unless he all of a sudden turns it around and goes and does great. So
well, yeah, but I mean,
right.
Reality plays a role here.
Correct. I know.
And I don't think he turns it around that much.
So you have that problem. But the bigger problem for me is the hitting.
Yeah.
Now, look, we know hitting comes and goes and things like that. And even when they were winning games, you're relying on, guys like McKinstry and Javi, people that you didn't expect. Torque earlier in the season. Your all-star Riley Green, he's had a good season. There's no doubt about it. But in July, and he had 3 strikeouts last night.
Yep.
He's hitting 180 in July with 6 home runs. So his, 180 batting average, when you look at it, OPS because of the home runs, is a little more acceptable at 724. But with those 6 home runs comes 28 strikeouts. He's on pace right now to have 212 strikeouts, which would be, I believe, the ninth most in Major League Baseball history in a season. That ain't good. I don't know what it is. Did they want him to try to be more of a power hitter? He's swinging at bad pitches. It sounds like he's chasing pitches, in the other batter's box like Javi used to do. Or
like he's done in the last couple of games.
Yes.
I went last night, but.
He's swinging a lot of pitches at his eyes, and that's not good. Colt Keith, who we thought, because he got off to a rough start too, but then he really started turning it around. He said, all right, this is our guy. Granted, it's only been, 6 games. 1 for 19. Sweeney, who, got called up, is hitting 3 for 26. And I know he's not known for his bat at all, but he's been bad. Torque in July, he's got I believe he has 1 home run since July 5th. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. And he hasn't done much either.
Well, and part of the issue is they just haven't been very opportunistic.
The runners in scoring position have been horrible.
Right, and so yesterday, not a lot of runners in scoring position because Skeens was on the mound for the first 6 innings. They were 1 for 5. The other night, I think they were 2 for 11.
Yes.
But they have, up until that Seattle series, they had been very opportunistic with runners in scoring position. Right. They had manufactured runs. They had done a good job of, and at the plate, creating matchups when they had runners in scoring position. And it was AJ, hey, I'm going to pinch hit here, pinch hit there, pinch run here. We just haven't seen that really since the All-Star break, and it's only been, 4 games.
Right. Look, we overreact in baseball. We overreact in every sport, but in baseball, because there's 162 games, when things are going really well, we maybe get too excited. When things are going bad, maybe we get too bummed out, so to speak. But their at-bats are really a problem right now. We haven't even addressed the bullpen, which yesterday was okay, and obviously Sunday was okay, but before that has been abysmal. Suarez hit another home run last night. I know they're not the only team that is looking at him. And allegedly Arizona wants pitching prospects, which the Tigers don't have many of, as opposed to the bat prospects they have.
Right.
So I don't know if they have enough ammunition to get Suarez. So that being said, what would you give up to get Suarez?
Well, I think it starts with Lorenzo. And again, not a pitching prospect, but he's top 5 in the Tigers system. And it starts there. And then I think you just say, is there a pitching prospect that you like? Ask the question. You take your choice. Because I'd be willing to give up any of the pitching prospects that they have. Right. None of them are and that's probably the problem, is none of them might be enticing to anyone else.
Right. We'll find out about Melton for the first time tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Troy's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what he has, and see what he can do. And I jokingly said, maybe it's a showcase. I don't think it's a showcase. It's. I don't think they're going to be marketing him per se, unless somebody were to call on him.
Correct.
And it's probably not Arizona.
No, I wouldn't think so. And do they have enough? I don't think I'm going to go more than Lorenzo as far as the prospects. And you can go further down. So basically, Clark, McGonigal, and Rainier are the ones I'm not trading for a rental. And you could have Barrett?
Would you go Briseño?
Briseño or Lorenzo. I'd rather give up Lorenzo, but
sure.
If they would say we're only going to do this if it's Briseño, I think I would do it.
All right, so I think that's a lot for a rental.
Just one of those guys, yeah.
For Suarez,
yeah.
I mean, this is as true of a rental as it can be. 2 months.
Yeah.
Come in here.
He's a free agent.
Do what you've been doing. And who knows what happens after. Now, I think long-term there would be some interest in bringing him back potentially because the hole is still there at third,
right.
At least for another year. But who knows? I mean, he could be making himself a multi-year deal with the season he's having. But, on the surface, a top 5 prospect in your organization for a true rental is a little bit heftier than usual.
It is. But Arizona's sitting in the catbird seat.
But because of the competition as this is a great seller's market.
Right.
Now.
You mentioned that yesterday. And you're 100% correct. It is a seller's market. And they're going to wait all the way up until Arizona's in town because that's the last series that the Tigers have before the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to try and drive that market up as high as they possibly can, wait for the highest bidder, and then sell.
We've had this suggested on Ticket Text when we talked about this earlier in the show. I'm going to throw it at you guys. Job
for Suarez.
I think it seems a little wild to me.
It's not wild. I was thinking of something other wild, but it's not a pitcher. I was thinking Meadows for Suarez.
Well, they need I don't know if that would get him.
I know. I'm not sure.
I don't think it would be a 1-for-1. For Job,
I don't think you can give up on him that quick for a rental. It'd be very difficult.
It's very smolty.
Yeah,
it is very to win now. You get even though it's not a pitcher you're getting like that they got it in '87 with Alexander.
Right,
you're giving up. That's the Tigers' #1 pitching prospect. Really,
would that be classified as the all-in move? Because we always hear the term all-in, right? Is that the all-in move? If they were to say, okay, well, we'll give you Job. He's not going to pitch at all this year, probably not next year.
The thing is,
the all-in move would be if you're trading Job and maybe another prospect, you get Suarez and maybe one of their other pitchers that they might want to get rid of, like Zach Gallen or somebody like.
He's got a 5.58 ERA.
I know.
He's worse than Flaherty. I don't know.
Plays in a much tougher league too.
To me, it's fascinating to think about.
Yeah.
I don't think the Tigers would do it.
I don't think so either.
Because I guess I would think Job is part of the backup plan if they don't keep Skubal.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's like, who's your pitchers down
in 27?
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, that's the next time that Job's going to pitch for the Tigers. Not until 27, if there's baseball.
Maybe next year, late.
Possibly.
Scott Harris didn't pick him.
Job?
Yes, that's true. You never know. You know how some GMs in this town love the ones they had.
I mean, if you're Arizona, you're sitting there saying, all right, this is the highest potential value we could get, and it fits what we're demanding.
All right. 248-539-9797. One other name to bring up. should they bring him up? 97 won the ticket.